Hi, Steve Barham here with Selkirk College in the Golf Club Operations online course. This module deals with sales and sales psychology and what it takes to be an effective salesperson. So I'll cover a few points before I direct you to the chapter and the PowerPoint show. So first, let's dispel some myths about salespeople and sales representatives. In my view and in my experience, they aren't the people who smile and glad hand and that sort of thing. Good salespeople are people who research the needs of customers. Cold calling is not exactly the sort of sales approach that I certainly advise. So understanding the needs of customers should be number one. So we're back to research again. You also need to have a good product or service. It doesn't matter how good the salesperson is if you don't have an in-demand product or service that's priced right and available the way customers want it. You really don't have much to sell no matter how good you are. So basically, once you've got the good product and service, now the personality of the salesperson comes to play. You need a good listener, a good problem solver, someone who can establish rapport with people, someone who has empathy. What you need is a sociocentric communicator, not an egocentric communicator. By sociocentric, I mean somebody who likes to understand other people, who isn't so concerned about hearing themselves talk. So basically what you want is someone who will listen, try to solve other people's problems, and not be so fixated on showing how much they know about something and just confusing people with long descriptions that quite often mean nothing to the customer. Another thing that's important to understand is that people don't tend to shop because they don't have anything better to do. If they're phoning or if they're online surfing or if they come into your golf shop, they're probably there because they need something or they want something. So the job of the salesperson is to figure out how to make buying that more appealing than keeping the money in their jeans. So basically you do this by listening. And this leads us into the sales story. Now I call the sales story the ultimate sales weapon in the chapter. And a sales story basically is a structured approach that you would use to sell almost anything. It focuses on, I use the examples of, for any product or service that you're selling, you should have 10 benefits nailed down that you can discuss conversationally. You don't read a list like it's rote memorized or anything like that, but 10 benefits that you can discuss in a natural manner. And then 10 features. And you always lead with benefits, not features, because people want to have their problems solved. The features tend to appeal more to the logos, or the logic part of the customer's psyche. So benefits first, then features, 10 benefits, 10 features. Typically, if you can roll out 20 reasons why someone should buy, if in fact they have the money and if they actually need it, you're on pretty solid ground and your sales story is likely going to be pretty effective. A few other things in the chapter. One is, are you store number 3? And what this means is that it's important to know how long a customer, a golfer, guest has been shopping. If you're the first place they're going to hit and they're going to spend a significant amount of money, it's tough to make a sale because quite often people intend to shop. So store number 3 is quite often the point at which they've done a bit of comparison shopping, they're running out of time, they're running out of energy. So if you know that you're store number 3 or 4 or somewhere down the list, it's often quite easy to make a sale. You just have to basically make it more convenient for them to stop shopping and to buy something. If you're store number 1 or even store number 2, you really need to do something pretty amazing to make them stop and buy now. And this could lead you into a sales clincher. A sales clincher is something that you offer people to add value. And you typically throw it in at the end of a sales encounter to just, well, as it says, to clinch the sale. So it could be an extended warranty. And quite often you can do this just by having the person use their credit card. That will double warranties. Or it could be something like a freebie that you throw in, or anything to actually make the purchase value added and to stop the person from moving on to the next store. So sales clinchers are something to think about for your own sales involvements, and also if you have staff, give them some sales clinchers that they can use when it's appropriate. I want to close this little vid clip with a few words about telemarketing. Most people hate telemarketing, and in fact so do I. If somebody calls at supper time and it's a meat company from Winnipeg and you have no interest in buying meat and Winnipeg's hundreds of miles away, why is this person calling you and bugging you at supper time? But telemarketing can be quite effective if you phone targeted people, and in this case it would be past customers, so golfers and guests who've patronized your club before. Now, if you know that they patronized you and that they're happy and that you have something that they're interested in because their past purchases have indicated this, people don't tend to mind being telemarketed. And if you have staff in your golf shop or other parts of the club who have downtime and could say make 5 phone calls a day with some new offering that you've got. It could be a special event, something to do with programming, or perhaps a sale that's upcoming. So if a person could make 5 a day, that's 35 calls a week. Even if they only make 1 a day, that's 5 a week. And telemarketing to proper targeted people can net sales very effectively. And as I say, if you target the people properly, they won't mind being telemarketed to. So don't overlook it. It's really not something that that you can afford to not do, and especially if you have staff that are sort of sitting waiting for people to come in or have some downtime. So time now to read the chapter, watch the PowerPoint show, and I'll see you again next module.